So let's get started. When you're ready, come into Tadasana. Feet about hip width apart, maybe a little wider if you want more stability in your stance. You can kind of sink into the hips and the knees. When you're ready, we're going to find those Tadasana feet. So you're going to pick up all 10 toes and spread them out. And then ground down gently in the base of the big toe and the pinky toe in the heel of the foot. So you have that triangle, stable base underneath you. And then when you're ready, lay the toes down just for balance. And give the hips a rock forward and back. You're stacking the hips over the knees and the knees over the ankles, and then make your side body long, put the shoulders back in their place, squeeze the upper back muscles, rotate the palms and the hands out in front, and you feel the spaciousness immediately in the neck as you sway the head side to side here. Open heart center. When you're ready, settle back to the center. And just breathe, open up the mouth. Let a few big ahs or haws out. Close the eyes, and that can be an ah or a ha or a yawn, anything to reset the cadence of your breath. Let your busy day and your week just roll right off your shoulders. Soft bend in the knees. And on the inhale, we're going to draw one hand into your belly or heart center, one hand into the heart center to sink the chin down. Take a few breaths here. The eyes closed and soft still. And now we're going to close the mouth and breathe through the nose. The nose does many different functions for us. Two most important are the nose regulates the amount of oxygen you bring into the body and the amount of waste carbon dioxide that you excrete from the body. Also helps to hone our attention down. So focus just on that space in the nose for a few breaths and see if you can connect to your own natural rhythm and breath and cadence, your bear breath. It's fast or slow, deep or shallow, it doesn't matter. Just start to breathe through the nose. Start to settle down into your body. Maybe you give a little shake side to side if the feet become stagnant or stiff. I love to sway. One of the best things to ground you into your body. The eyes closed and soft. When you're ready, settle back to the center and just breathe. And then we're going to soften and really round through that belly. Let it go. Let it become full. Don't hold it in. We start to get older and we're holding in the stress and the tension in the belly. So just let it go. Let it become round. And as you do that, you inhale, the belly becomes full. You exhale, the belly sinks to the spine. And you're massaging all those internal organs, activating the digestive system. And the same thing with your heart center. Inhale, the heart and chest expands. Exhale, sinks and contracts. And with a hand on the belly and one hand on the heart, you feel them working in unison. And then you connect to that nose breath. And when you're ready, you're going to release the hands down. And since we're at home, we get to be a little kooky here. So you're going to shake out your rear. Just let go of any tension in the lower body. Maybe shake the hands and the shoulders. Let go of any stagnant energy, any inflammation in that lower body. Maybe pick up the feet and give them a nice big shake. And when you're ready, you're going to settle out with those feet nice and wide apart. We're going to start to heat up and gather some energy in the body. So exhale as you come down, and on the big inhale, lift and reach. And exhale, sink down. And oftentimes I see as people do this, keep going, they hinge forward at the hips, and it's all in the upper body, and then all that pressure goes in the low back. We want to bend into the knees and inhale, gather up that energy, and exhale, sink down. And we're just going to play and have fun a little bit, moving in whatever direction that feels good for you. Everybody's body is a little bit different, so feel free to pick and choose what you want to do here. And take a few more breaths up and down as you inhale, lift up, exhale, sink down. Maybe you start to sink a little lower. Inhale up, exhale, sink down. Just gathering that heat and energy in the body, and you're starting to feel the length in the spine and the stretch in the torso and the shoulders and the head and neck. We're going to take a great big belly breath. Inhale up. And as you exhale, release the hands out to side and take a few stars. Exhale down and inhale, shoot all the way out. Open up and exhale down. And inhale, shoot all the way up. And maybe you ripple a little bit through your spine. As you come down a little bit, inhale, open up. Whatever feels good for your body. And as you inhale, we're going to come up into a nice big star. Hips and knees parallel, open up. A few belly breaths. Maybe you give a little sway side to side, keeping your hips facing front. little spinal twist. When you're ready, come back to the center. As you exhale, you're going to come into that star. And on the inhale, come up, feet together towards your right side, hands to the heart center. And we're just going to cross that left foot over a few times. Give the feet a little wiggle, just to kind of get the feel for that movement. And when you're ready, cross the left foot over. You're going to square the hips forward as much as you can. Inhale, lift up. And as you exhale, come into that side stretch to that right side. You're going to lift up in through the left side. Rather than just collapsing down into that right side, it's this lift. Pressing down evenly in both feet. And inhale back to the center. And as you exhale, hinge at the hips. Take a few breaths, reaching out into that modification of the airplane pose. And if that feels uncomfortable in the knees or the hips, just come back to regular airplane pose. Take a few breaths here. And on a great big inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, release, hands to the heart center. We're just going to uncross the feet, come to the left side. Step that right foot over a few times. Just until you kind of get the feel of what that feels like to cross the foot over. When you're ready, come over to that side. Find a balance. Inhale up. And this time to your left. Exhale, release. And again, it's this lifting into the right side of the torso. And a few belly breaths here. When you're ready, inhale back to the center and exhale, hinge at the hips. One more time. And again, if you need to, uncross the feet. Big belly breath, inhale, lengthen. Sometimes here we tend to drop the chest down or we round. So kind of find those spots and then find a neutral spine here. So you're not falling into the belly or the low back, and you're not rounding up that tension in the shoulders. And then reach and lengthen on the inhale. On the exhale, feel the hips and the hamstrings and the legs open up. Feel every nook and cranny and inch of your body all the way out into the fingertips and all the way down to the hips. See if you can find that balance of not falling too far into that left foot or that right foot, but the balance between the two. And when you're ready, inhale up. And exhale and release. We're going to start to walk the feet out nice and wide and sink down to a big sumo squat here. Turn the toes out, walk the heels forward, lengthen through the spine, sink down, tuck the tailbone under a little bit. Maybe you offer up, open up, offering up and letting go of anything that's holding you back or holding you down. And we take a slow exhale, hands the heart center. Just breathe. And on the inhale, we're going to come all the way up. And as you do that, turn the knees and toes center. Drop the thumbs to the upper back and squeeze the shoulder blades as you come down. Inhale up through center. And exhale, sink down. Just let your breath be your guide. So you're working out all the stress and tension in the head, neck, back, and shoulders. And when you're ready, you're going to take a great big inhale. We're going to come up through center. And as you exhale, hinge at the hips, come into one more airplane pose. Lengthen out, wide-legged. If you like to, you can spread the feet out nice and wide apart. Again, find your Tadasana feet, give the toes a little wiggle. Picking up all 10 toes coming into the soles of the feet. And rather than just sinking down and wedging down into the feet and you letting the mat help you do all the work, you're going to lift that energy up into the tailbone. Use the quads and the glutes and the hamstrings. And then as you pull that energy up, extend it out through the torso and the fingertips. And then take a slow exhale, release the fingertips to the floor, come into a nice fold. You can put your hands on a block if you have that to modify cupped fingertips or palms flat to the floor. And just let the head drop down, give a sway side to side. Maybe you walk the feet out a little wider as you come down. When you're ready, settle back to the center. And just let the head hang down a few belly breaths. And again, you can just sink into those feet and kind of relax and come into a yin stretch here. Or you can activate it a little bit more by contracting through the quads, lifting up into that tailbone. You choose. On a slow inhale, we're going to start to gather ourselves up, picking up the chin, coming into those cupped fingertips, walking the feet in heels and toes, hands on the thighs. Draw the knees out, inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, come into one side. You're going to press into the inner thighs gently. Inhale back to the center, exhale to the other side. And inhale back to the center. And you're going to take this slow round all the way up to the spine and walk the back heel, anchoring that left heel and turning your right toe out. And we're going to come into a big warrior one here. We're going to start just kind of rotating the torso And the chest and shoulders square to that front thigh. And when you're ready on the inhale, if you'd like to, raise the arms up. You can always keep the hands of the heart center. And it's this lift to the sky. So you're grounding down into that lower body, finding that strength, that stability, and then lifting, finding that softness, that spaciousness, that length in the upper body. And when you're ready, inhale, straighten through that right leg. Coming back to a warrior two, you're going to walk that right hand forward and either release the elbow to the thigh or the shin or the floor. In this top left arm, you can raise to the sky or rest on the small of the back. And what you want to focus on here is being in a position that you can stack the hips over each other and the shoulders over each other so that you're not collapsing. Sometimes we want to get that hand all the way to the floor and then we fall forward. So come up a little higher. Roll that top shoulder up. You can always take a soft bend in the right knee to modify. You choose your triangle. Inhale, reach and expand from the heart center out. And as you exhale, release, soft bend in that right knee. We're going to come all the way up and into that left side. Warrior one. Hands to the heart center. Soften the shoulders down. Just a few belly breaths. And again, you can square the shoulders and hips. And sometimes the knees tend to flop in here. I'm going to guide them out. Use the strength of the outer thigh and the hip and rear end. Take a breath or two when you're ready. Inhale. Maybe you take it up to warrior. Extended warrior, reaching up into the fingertips. Soften the shoulders down the spine, so side body, long shoulders in their place. Squeeze the upper back muscles. And as you exhale, you're going to straighten out through the right leg, drop the hands, reach forward, come into that triangle. Trikonasana, or triangle pose. So remember, we're stacking the hips. So if you're wondering which direction your hips are going, put your hands on the hips and point your fingertips forward. So you want to stack those hips over each other. Same thing with the shoulders. It doesn't matter whether the hands on the small of the back, the knees bent. We start here with the open torso so we can extend and expand outward from there. Yeah, when you're ready, slow exhale as you come back. And inhale, straighten out. We're going to slowly walk the feet back in together and take a few belly breaths. Sink down, exhale down, inhale up. Few more big belly breaths here. When you're ready, on the next inhale, come all the way up. And as you exhale, release the hands of the hips and you're just come into one side. Inhale, center, exhale the other side. Inhale, center, exhale. Come over to that right side. When you're ready, you're going to come into a diagonal to that right side. So you're going to feel that stretch down that back, hamstring, glute, and move into the belly of that hamstring. Lengthen out from there. And as you exhale, come into a center forward fold. Let the head drop down. And then back, moving to your left, making the full circle. Inhale into that diagonal to that left side. And then you're going to come in, open that top shoulder. And this next one's a little bit tricky, and if you have lower back issues, you may want to skip it, but you're going to draw back just a little bit and squeeze into the buttocks. So you're going to open up the front hip pockets here. And we're just going to move in that motion side, diagonal, forward, diagonal, side, and back. And when you make your way back to the center, move to the other side, left side, side, diagonal, forward, diagonal, side, and back, and come back to the center, open up. And as you exhale, we're going to walk the feet in and give them a nice little shake. Coming back into your Tadasana stance. Hands to the heart center. Take a great big deep belly breath. Inhale up. And as you exhale, a little half squat and a deep belly breath. Arms come out and up. Hands come into the heart center. And as you exhale, you're going to rest the forehead across the backs of the thumbs. And just breathe. Soften the belly. Soften the heart center, soften the chest, and just allow all that heat that you just built in the lower body, that strength, that spaciousness to just come up into your body. Settle into that heat. And just let all those busy thoughts go. The knees become soft. Taking a few more breaths here. Let the belly become soft. Inhale, belly and chest rise. Exhale, belly and chest sinks and contracts. And whenever you're ready, you take as much time here as you like. Lift the head, and thank you for joining us today. Namaste. See you tomorrow.